I wanted to talk a little bit about the manifesting process, and I'm going to use one of my most recent examples to kind of talk about what it's like. If you're ever curious, if you feel like, you're struggling or you're having problems with certain thoughts and beliefs. So let's go over it. All right, so there was this kind of, a little bit rundown restaurant in my area. It was the only fish and chip shop, in my area, and it was older, it was getting a little run down, and I was like, man, this is the only drive-through fish and chip shop we have in my town, and I don't think I could handle it going out of business. So every time, I drove past this restaurant, a part of me, by the looks of the outward appearance, wanted to believe that, this place was going to go out of business. I didn't always see a lot of cars during rush hour. I didn't, it was a little run down. The owner probably didn't have enough money to keep it up like, they probably should. And but I was like, you know what? I know the law, I know manifesting, so I'm going to practice this as a little fun game for myself. So every time I drove by it, which is, a couple times a week, I did not let myself think negatively. I didn't let myself go there, right? So I was like, no, I'm not going to be negative about it. I'm not going to let my fears take over. I'm not going to believe my fears. So I drove by, and I'd be like, I'd send the restaurant good energy. I'd be like, I bless this restaurant. I would always do a little quick, 1 second, 2 second imagination of all these cars coming by. And I didn't really think much of it. I didn't dwell much on it, to be honest. But every time I drove by, I'm like, nope, that place is booming. That place is open. It's staying open for me. It's going to have lots of customers. It's going to be thriving. So I just believed in this restaurant every time I drove by it. And I didn't let my negative thoughts take over. So a few minutes later, I noticed all these cars around the restaurant, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. There's so many cars, so many people are attending. So I go tell my friend the next day, and she's like, yeah, like a local food reviewer reviewed it, and all these people have been coming, and that was a couple months ago, and the restaurant is still booming. The restaurant is still having customers, which makes me really happy because I would love to keep eating at this place. So I just wanted to talk about what, the manifesting process looks like. It took 2 months of me being like, I'm not going to let my fears take over. I'm going to see the restaurant as I would like to see it fulfilled. I'm seeing the restaurant as popular, as all these people coming, as I'm seeing the restaurant as open and thriving, and I didn't let my fears take over, and I chose to imagine what I wanted to happen. I was like, I send good energy. Every time I thought about it, I'm sending it good energy. I'm going to see it how I want it to be, right? And third, you don't worry about the how, right? I couldn't have imagined or convinced someone to make a video and make it go viral. It just happened that way. That's how it unfolded. And so in the same way, something in your life can take place. You're not going to be able to imagine all the little details of how something's going to unfold, right? And that's not something that you need to worry about. It's not your job. All you got to do is say, this is what I want, and I'm believing in it, and I'm going to have good feelings about it. I'm going to send my life good energy, bless it, and I'm not going to let my fears take over and say that it's not going to happen. And so I just wanted to come in here and talk about this because I know it can be kind of challenging sometimes when you're in the moment trying to make something happen and wanting to see results. And that's the thing, you're not making it happen, you're living in the end, you're seeing the end result and just allowing things to unfold. So I hope this helped you today, and don't forget my Assumptions digital journal is available for download. But yeah, thank you so much.